Hello YouTube, what is going on? Welcome to another video. In this video I really wanted to speak about how important it is to like have fun in this journey. You know, for the longest time I thought like, we should optimize the results, which I mean you should, but most importantly, I feel like you should have fun while doing the work. Cause I was watching this YouTuber called Hamza. He's like my mentor. So I'm great because of him. Type shit. But he really went into like he was like talking about like all this stuff and how like how we should like be us. Like I don't know how to explain it. But I want to come on this video to tell you guys that you will make more progress in whichever area of life you're working on if you're having fun doing it. For example, me, when I first started working out, like way back then, I was doing the Stairmaster, but I fucking hate the Stairmaster. I hate that machine. I mean, it's painful and it's just not fun for me. But I was still doing it because, for the results. Because, the Stairmaster would burn good calories, but I just didn't like it. And me, like, when I'm on it, I would, like, grab onto it like this. Like, lean on it and, like, grab, like, on the handlebars like this. And then that would hurt, like, my wrist and my grip and, like, my hands. And, this was, like, really painful. I didn't really like it. Yeah, I might sound like a pussy saying this, but honestly, I didn't enjoy it. And honestly, I wouldn't look forward to it either. So like, you can imagine how that would like plateau your progress. Plateau just means like staying the same or like even decreasing. So, I stopped doing that because, it wasn't fun for me. And, I'd rather do something that's fun, gets results, but like I'm having fun doing it. Because you will like actually make more results. Because it makes sense. Like you will like stay more consistent on the thing that you're doing, if you're having fun while doing it, as opposed to if you were not having fun. Same thing for the gym. I'm actually quite grateful, but there was like this like small like there was like a 1 week period in my gym progress where I was just I don't know, I was on YouTube. This was like during winter. I was on YouTube and like some like dork on YouTube like came up on the recommended, and it was like the best exercise to grow your biceps. And it was some like weird shit where you're like, I don't fucking know, you're like lean back and you're doing like bicep curls but like lean back, and I don't know, like it's like really weird exercises. Sorry, I'm reading the message that my friend sent me about some like, because he's doing like my summer school work. So yeah, I gotta pay that boy like $10 for doing my summer school work. Cause a G like me gotta save time. But yeah, back to my point. You should honestly be having fun in whatever things in whatever you're doing. Honestly, like I was saying earlier, when I was doing all this like optimizing like workouts to like build muscle quicker, I wasn't having that much fun. I'll be honest. But then I switched up my style of training after watching a course. And honestly, this is the most fun I've had working out. I've worked out consistently for like 6 months now, like weight training. And honestly, it's the most fun I've had. And and like, it's more fun when, like, when you're done working out or when you're about to shower or when you're walking and you see your reflection in the mirror and you see like your strong ass body, like mine, like you see these traps. yeah, I didn't have these before. But you know, it's like seeing like your body like being sculpted, your muscles being built, or even like losing body fat. You know, it like gives you extra motivation to like, you know, keep working hard and all that. And I mean, yeah. But of course, like if you're just starting to like work out, or yeah, for like this example that I'm giving, if you're just starting to work out, I mean, it's probably not gonna be fun at first, because you know, most likely you're like lazy or something, or like, you know, like you're not really like used to it, or simply because, you know, you haven't like spent enough time in it. But honestly, if you're just starting to work out, I would say try like a lot of like things, and then like whichever one you find fun is the one that you should stick to. Because, you know, naturally the one that you find fun is the one that you're gonna stick to long term. My ball went away. And also, like right now, I was playing soccer. I mean, not playing, but like, you know, passing the ball like right here on the against the wall. And you know, I was really thinking, back then when I would play with, like with my friends, like when I first started playing soccer, I wouldn't have fun. I mean, it was fun, but like, you know, I would just have like these like high expectations in my head. You know, I was thinking, oh, I gotta be like this, I gotta do this, I gotta be like that, I gotta do this and that. And you know, like I was trying to be perfect. Like, yeah, basically I was trying to be perfect. But honestly, it's not it. I mean, hold on. I mean, at least for me, it's not it. I mean, I wasn't having fun at all. And then, like, in a weird way, that kind of gives you, like, worse mental health. You know, an example I can think of was during the summer, I was with one of my boys. His name is Brian. And, you know, I invited him to come. Hold on. Sorry, it's just I'm sick. Anyways, but I invited him to come play soccer with me. And, you know, we were playing soccer. And, you know, it was just me and him. And you know, like, we got high as hell, too. I mean, I got high as hell. Because, you know, I used, like, that was my excuse to get faded as hell. So, you know, I got faded. And then, you know, we'll fast forward to, like, the main part of, like, the story. Like the main part of, like, when I realized this thought. But basically, I was high as hell. Then, you know, it was my turn to be goalkeeper. And in my head, I was like, okay, I gotta block this. I'm gonna block the next one. Okay, like, you know, I was, like, overthinking it and not having fun. But then, like something clicked in my brain. I was like, wait, it's not fun thinking this way. It's not fun thinking, oh, I gotta lock in. Oh, I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Like, it just wasn't fun. So then I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna turn my brain off, act like a little bit of a retard, and smile. You know what's weird? I started to have fun. But you know what else? I was having fun. And because I started to have fun and I was in my head overthinking, you know, wanting to, you know, be perfect and everything. And like, I just started having fun. I started blocking more shots. I started saving them. I mean, I was diving, catching these. Okay, I wasn't diving, but you know, I was moving. I was blocking these balls left and right, and all this started when I started to have fun. So, sorry, it's just like I just heard my family right now. They said, "Who is he talking to?" But in Spanish. Clearly, they're talking about the G himself, aka me. But yeah, you know, I feel like you should just have fun. Have fun. Don't overthink stuff, you know, just have fun. I mean, at least for me. You know, if you work better overthinking, then, you know, fair enough. But I honestly suggest you guys to have fun in whatever you're doing, even your business. You know, if it's not fun for you, then why are you doing it? You know, like, do something that you're actually gonna have fun doing, or something that you actually want to do. And yeah, and before I had like the I want to have fun mindset, like for the when I was in goalie, and when I was like thinking in my head a lot, I wasn't blocking any other shots. And actually, the ones that I wouldn't, I mean, like every like saw that went in, I felt like my self-esteem go down. But that's because, you know, I was gonna be perfect. But yeah. And you know, then when I had like the insight of this isn't fun, it's not fun thinking like this. And then when I switched my thinking to I'm gonna just have fun, you know, that's when I let loose. That's when I started to like let loose. Now I noticed myself. I noticed that I started to like let loose. Then I was smiling. Then I was having fun. And then naturally, I started blocking more shots. I mean, I don't know how that works, but yeah, it works. You know, I was just having more fun. And actually, that was one of the best days of my summer vacation, playing with my boy Brian and being baked as hell. You know, just having fun. Then we were talking about like girls and all that, you know, like the normal stuff. But yeah, YouTube, just have fun in whatever you're doing, and you should always prioritize fun. Of course, you know, like keep working hard and all that, but have fun on the journey. Peace out. Damn, my look. This right here was my tripod. Tight shit.